Yeah, so let's do The Eagle Huntress, which does actually have a Star Wars connection because it's a documentary which is narrated by Daisy Ridley, who you will remember has a small connection to.
She does indeed.
She does. So it's an interesting case, this. It's about a young woman from a proud Kazakh family from the Altai Mountains, from Mongolian family, and the tradition of her family has been for them to be eagle hunters. These are people who hunt with eagles, catch eagles, raise them from eagles, train them, use them for hunting, and then, as we see at the very beginning of the documentary, after 7 years, let them go. And the film actually begins with her father freeing an eagle, to go off, and it's to do with taking and giving. So then the story is that she is completely entranced by the idea of being an eagle hunter, and she wants to become an eagle hunter. And as per the documentary, some of the veracity of the documentary has been called into question, but as per the story of the documentary, her ambition then is to become an eagle hunter, and her father encourages her in this ambition. And the documentary crew basically follow her finding her first eagle. There's a terrifying sequence in which she has to climb down a mountain. Remember that thing in you saw Captain Fantastic, didn't you?
Yeah.
That bit in Captain Fantastic when they're climbing up the side of the mountain and one of the kids goes, I've broken my ankle, and the father goes, yeah, never mind, there's only one way and it's up. It's a bit like that. She's coming down to get the eagle, and she gets the eagle, and she starts to train, and meanwhile we see reactions from other people, other families, saying, well, this is not right. I mean, she's a girl. Girls can't eagle hunt. I mean, they can't ride, for a start. That's not good. And they can't raise eagles because they don't know how to do it. And anyway, they're going to need to get married. And it's, if she does it, then everybody else is going to get it. So the drama constructs a sort of a tension between, on the one hand, her ambition to do what she wants to do and to evidently incredibly talented, and on the other hand, the social structures which perhaps won't allow that to happen. Now, as I said before, there has been some question about exactly how truthful this is, and certainly when you're watching the documentary, it feels very constructed. It feels, on one hand, it's very cinematic. I mean, it's really, the photography is wonderful, and it is great to look at. And it has in its central character of Aisholpan Nurgaev. She's a really, she's somebody you're very interested in watching and spending time with. She's tough, and she's resourceful, and she's ambitious. You can see her dreams, and somehow in the way in which this is represented between her and the relationship between her and the eagle, I suppose there's. You think of something like Kez or something, it's all those things are in there. At the same time, because of the way that the narrative plays out, just from a cinematic point of view, it does look very much like, and I don't know whether this is good, but it looks like things might have been restaged or things have been, it looks like it's been constructed very much in the editing room. So what then happens is that she wants to take part in the eagle competition, which is a competition which involves flying your eagle in different ways, catching your eagle on your arm, it's being flown down from the side of a hill, catching something which you're dragging along behind the horse, and then after that, what she has to do is to go and prove herself by actually going out eagle hunting, going out into the mountains in treacherous snow. I mean, with her and her father on these tiny little horses, the snow is basically coming up to their chests. All of which is, filmed in, as I said, absolutely sort of breathtaking cinematography. So it's a strange. What's that? Is it curate's egg? Is that the phrase?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good in parts.
Good in parts. It's a strange curate's egg because, on the one hand, she's such a fascinating subject, and there is, there's very sort of funny stuff done in the editing, which juxtaposes her success with the responses of those who don't think that girls should be allowed to compete. Although, as I said, exactly how truthful that is or isn't, the film does look, this all goes back to Nanook of the North and the way in which documentaries are constructed as much as... And so all the time I was watching it, I was slightly distanced by the fact of thinking, this looks like a drama. It looks like a constructed work. It looks like, I don't know exactly at what value to take the hunting sequences, the chasing, because I'm thinking, how did you get that angle? How did that happen? How was that camera? I don't know, but it's certainly in my mind. I was thinking this looks like something that's very, very constructed. That said, because its subject is such a winning presence, and because she is, it's that thing about somebody having a dream of doing something, and it's a dream of doing something that none of us had ever imagined doing, and then you see her going out and doing it and being tough and being resourceful and obviously having an absolute flair for this. The film itself is very watchable and very engaging, and it's no surprise that when it played festival circuit, got an incredibly good response that has been talked of, in terms of being an awards contender. It's also not surprising that anyone watching it would question exactly how this narrative, is constructed. Because I said it does feel like it's a very, very ordered story. And of course, as we know, real life is never like that. Real life is much messier than that. But as a cinematic experience, it's a really good, watchable, enjoyable film. Even though as you're watching it, you are thinking how much of this is drama, how much of this is construct.